Hello and welcome to Life Like You Mean It. Today we're going to be talking about how you can raise your vibration. So, I've talked about this before. This actually comes from the work of Abraham Hicks, where they talk about an emotional ladder, which is basically the concept that when we are in a place emotionally or a mental state where we don't want to be, it's often very difficult, if not impossible, to make the big jump that we're trying to make to go from where we are to where it is that we want to be. Energetically speaking, we are vibrating at such a different frequency that it is irrational for us to be able to think we could just make that jump from one frequency to the next, something that's so far apart. And so the suggestion instead is to raise your vibration by thinking the next best thought. So, in real terms, what that looks like is you acknowledging, first and foremost, how it is that you are feeling. So, forget about societal views about what an emotion is, whether it's negative or positive, right? Of course, if you're doing this exercise, you're in a place where you do not want to remain. So, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a terrible place to be. It's just not where you want to be. But let's assume that it is the classic kind of negative scenario here. So let's assume that you are really angry over something. Now, the first step is to allow yourself to feel that anger, acknowledge the anger, right? Recognize that it is there and have some grace for yourself about the fact that you are angry, right? So that means don't judge yourself or beat yourself up for feeling that way, but rather to just allow yourself to be. Now, recognizing that this is a place that you do not want to remain, then when you are ready, you simply think of the next best thought that comes to mind. Now, that thought is not going to bring you all the way up to the other end of the spectrum at, say, joy. You're just not going to go from anger to joy. So allow yourself to just search your mind for different thoughts. And you're really just looking to ask yourself, well, does that thought make me feel a bit better than how I was feeling when I was feeling anger? And if the answer is yes, you go with that. If the answer is no, you continue looking for the next best thought. Now, the next best thought or feeling might be blame. It's still not a place where we want to remain. We still need to make sure that we are not expressing blame by actually, lashing out at anybody in anger and blaming. But we still want to acknowledge and honor the fact that that is how we're feeling. There is nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's just not where we would like to remain. So we allow ourselves to feel blame fully and completely until we are ready to choose the next best thought. And again, the next five best thoughts that you have may all still be in this realm of negative, right? Not where you want to remain. But with each thought or each new feeling, it is allowing you to feel better than the previous one until you finally get to a place where you can feel that shift, where finally the next best thought is something perhaps that's neutral. It's not considered positive or negative, or maybe it's that first step into feeling positive or feeling closer to the way that you want to. And you just continue to do this, allowing yourself to fully feel it. That is super important because it's only when we allow ourselves to actually feel this emotion that we change our vibration. So, by just recognizing that we are blaming somebody and then having judgment about that blame and not wanting to feel that way and rushing to find the next feeling because you're feeling negative about your negative feeling, then you're still vibrating in that same kind of stagnant energy, if you will. But by allowing yourself to feel blame versus anger, you have actually shifted your energy vibration out of anger and into blame, and then out of blame and into whatever judgment, out of judgment and into whatever, all the way up until you are finally able to get to a place where you would like to stay, Or perhaps you get to a place where it's, I don't think I can get any further than this, but I'm okay with that. This is where I can remain for a little bit of time until I am willing to start looking at this again and try to go to the next level. So maybe that's simply a state of calm, right? But by really allowing yourself to feel that, then you have literally changed your vibration from the low, stagnant vibration of anger into a more flowing vibration of calm. And if you want to raise your vibration from calm up into joy, then you will do the same thing. You will continue on this path, just choosing the next best thought that brings you the next best feeling, something that is just that little bit better than what you were feeling before, and allow yourself to fully feel it. Now, this process is one that when you get good at it, when you start to really practice this, it becomes familiar to you, it becomes something that doesn't seem to require as much effort because you don't have to remind yourself of what you're supposed to be doing, then this can happen quite quickly. This whole process could take a matter of minutes. Now, if you've had some big traumatic event that's happened and that's what's thrown you into the stagnant energy where you don't want to be, then we might be dealing with having to do this process every single day. And every day that we do it, we're only able to inch up, a few emotions or a few next best thoughts, right? It just depends on what you're going through in life, what's happening right now. So everybody is different. Play around with it and see how you do. There will be times where this will be a several day process, maybe even a several week process. And there will be other times where you can do it in moments. And when you become very comfortable with this, then you'll be able to do it very, very quickly, perhaps the moment that you catch yourself actually sliding down in vibration, you will be able to stop in a space that is, say, higher vibrating than what you would have before and catch yourself there and immediately start to rise back up. The key with this is allowing yourself to feel what you feel without any judgment and allowing yourself to really resonate with that feeling and acknowledging that that is a better feeling, even though it might not be where you want to stay. It is a better feeling than what you were having before. And allow yourself the grace to take whatever time that you need during this particular event to walk your way up into where it is that you want to be. I hope this helped. As always, I so appreciate you watching my videos and commenting, sharing, liking, doing everything that you can to help others to see the value in what it is that I teach. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed already, I would love for you to click that button.